It's Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories, and I'm here today with the real one and only John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey, John, how are you?
I am doing awesome.
Awesome. Well,
It's
go
it's
ahead.
always wonderful to chat with you, Sue. It really is. I look forward to it.
Well, everyone looks forward to it because we want to hear your story. We want to get the story out for you. It's really vital that we get this out for you, you know? And you've got so many great people that are helping in their own way. So that's very exciting.
Oh, awesome, Lions!
Yep, yep.
So many amazing people out there. Shannon Sheridan going to Dallas, and she sent me. I don't know if I can message her back, but if she's listening to this, she's so appreciated. She said, "I'm starting to learn from you, John. I'm not taking no shit from nobody." And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
way to do it.
yeah.
If somebody says, "Oh, you're crazy," it's like, go fuck yourself. I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. Who the fuck you think you're
Yeah.
talking to?
Yep.
So I
That's
loved it
great.
when she said that. You got. She said the guys, the tour guides come by and give her bullshit, and it's like they have no fucking clue what I know and
Right,
how I've lived and sharing my story. They just don't get it,
right.
and they need to get it. They need to
Yeah,
wake up or
yeah,
take their little tour guide ass somewhere else.
yep, yeah. So she's been sending me pictures and things pretty much every time she goes down. I think this was time number 6. And I'm going to say, from what she's told me, many people are interested, like they haven't heard the story, but they'll take her flyer or whatever. Obviously, there's the hecklers and the haters,
Yeah,
and you're
but
not gonna,
once they start with their bullshit, you know they don't have a clue. They're like,
yeah, yeah.
well, what can you do? But
They're heavily,
it's all good. I love her. She's so freaking awesome doing that. And maybe we can get together and she can find out what kind of permits we need and we can plan a date for the future and we can all go to Dallas and maybe we can get thousands of people there.
wouldn't that
When
be
I had my
great?
TikTok platform before they took it down, 45,000 and growing, it could have been huge platform to get it out. And Facebook Facebook was blocking me, hindering
Yeah,
me, keeping me
yeah.
silent for so long. And now I got 1.5 million video views this last month. So all these lions that keep sharing these posts, they're so appreciated that I feel justice in the future. There was times like this is crazy. You
Yeah.
know, uh, I really felt like I was wasting my time pulling a wagon around Bullhead City that said I'm John Kennedy Jr. I've never been a speaker, you know, uh, publicly. I couldn't do it. And I'm learning a lot myself. But there was one day I went to the food bank and there was a line of 30 people in line. And I got my little JFK wagon and I just spoke up. I said, by the way, I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. And I'm sharing my story about how corrupt our government is. And if you want to listen, talk to me. And everybody was like looking like this guy's 5150.
Yeah. If you haven't heard the story, at first you're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, what? And then he's not like the guy on the magazines looked and blah, 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 blah. But once you start to open your eyes and think about the story and what's happened and then listen, wow. Yeah, you couldn't,
Yeah, they don't get people don't realize how freaking corrupt our government is and these people running our government where
right,
they'll kidnap children and replace children and steal funds from whoever they can get it to line their pockets. And I'm a great example of what they can do and how they can do it. Me being the son of our former president and them doing what they did to me.
right.
And I'm lucky to be alive to be sharing it. So I hope people are like, oh, well, I'll take a minute to listen to you
Yeah,
because it affects everybody. When you got corrupt politicians that belong to a murder, child trafficking, crime ring, people need to wake up. People need to listen because that's why we're so screwed up. Our country's screwed up because people like that are lying to you, are lying to us, are deceiving us, are telling, flat out lying to you, things are going to get better because I'm going to be president of the United States, and it's all run by the circus.
Right. Well, we're starting to see it in the outside world more and more. Okay. We're watching what's happening. Of course, people watch different things. If you're watching the real news on TV, you're not going to get it. But we're seeing what's actually really happening out there, and it's being proven and disclosed. So people are going to wake up. I mean, they are waking up. It's just not at, the speed we want, which is everybody right
I
this
can't
second.
even watch the news. I can't. It makes me sick to my stomach when, you know, they're sitting there pushing their
Agenda. Yeah.
brainwashing
Yeah.
things to the people, and all they're doing is hindering things in the
Right.
long run. I
Right.
can't watch the news. I see
Right.
little bits and pieces here, like if I'm turning the TV channel or scrolling on Facebook, and I guess there's something going on in LA with riots, and I seen a video where some cars were burning and idiots were jumping up and down on them, things like that. I mean, what
Yeah.
the hell? And it's in LA, one of the shittiest parts in this country. Let them have it.
We've seen the news media use old footage of other places and or even footage from movies, disaster movies. So they have an agenda. So no matter what you're watching, they've got an agenda, they're pushing it on you. And of course the people are always shocked and they believe it. They just suck that right up. And I'm
Yep.
talking about the normal people, if you will, the average person.
I,
But
I seen a little clip from Fox News. I believe it was on Facebook, but there was a guy on a motorcycle with a flag, and one of the anchors from um, Fox was like, "Well, there you have it, right there. Look at the flag. Look at the flag. There you have it."
yeah, so they can spin and twist anything, and if you're gullible you might believe that, and we can't argue with those kind of people enough to convince them. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. All right, so don't waste your time fighting with people, although it is a little bit fun once in a while, right? I poked a few people on one of the chats for your videos the other day, and I just they're so blatantly hostile without even like learning the story before they condemn it. I just had to poke.
It just shows how ignorant they are.
Yeah, but I
It
just
does. It
happen to have
really
time.
does. I get these comments all the time, and I just think, you're one ignorant individual.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah. So the way I am, and like if I hear something that I've never heard before and I think it's crazy, I'm like, what? And then I'll like ask a few questions or read or whatever it might be, and then I'll make maybe a decision. But then I start to like open up to more information coming in, right? And then I make a better decision if I need to change my mind or whatever. Or somebody might tell me about it. And I'm like, well, I kind of heard about that, but I didn't know. So I try to be open minded. I'm not always as open minded as I'd love, but people don't even want to hear the story. They're like, halt, like, you're a liar. Like, what value is there in convincing them and arguing with them? They're not going to even be remotely open, right?
that's why I admire Shannon Sheridan for going to Dallas, because I know exactly what she's going through. I
Yeah,
really do.
yeah,
And she's standing her ground.
yeah.
She knows right from wrong. And Shannon, if you're watching, yeah, don't take
Yeah.
no shit from these people.
Well,
None.
I told her if I was closer, I would have gone and helped her. Like I'm not in that state, but
Oh yeah, I checked it out. I'm 18 hours away, 18-hour drive away.
yeah,
So I wish I could be there too, but maybe in the future,
yeah,
we can go back her up and show some support for what she started there.
it
And
would
it's
be
huge
great.
what she started there. It's history.
It would be huge.
She is the Paul Revere of 25 for what she's doing, trying to save this country and let people know, hey, the criminals have taken over the United States of America.
Yeah,
They are. I can't stress it enough. They're child trafficking murderers and thieves. And that's the crime ring that surrounds them. And these go all the way to the presidents of the United States.
Right. Right.
No sugar, no sugar. They're murdering child trafficking thieves put in place to run this country and screw us.
Yep.
Straight up. That's how it is.
Yep.
I've got story after story I could share that I've experienced from, and with that said, MK Ultra is a very powerful mind weapon. Um, there was a gal, and I can't remember names, but she said she was a victim of MK Ultra. She's getting popularity by what I understand for sharing her story, and that's great, But MK Ultra is a weapon of war. It really is, and they use it on civilians. These are the people in our government using MK Ultra and mind control. You know, when my father was executed for the whole world to see, all I could think of was MK Ultra. You got somebody being accused of killing him that was probably under MK Ultra by what I know and how it works, and then you got a guy probably under MK Ultra killing that man, and then it's it's them under MK Ultra doing deeds, and it's so true that you
Right.
can program somebody to get a rifle and go into a school and shoot up the school, and they
Right.
don't even know what they did. Just like my uncle's killer, Bobby was assassinated also, my uncle, and the killer's like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
MK Ultra. It is a mind. Humans aren't as strong as we believe we are. We stand proud, do this, but we're weak. Mentally, we are really weak. We can be controlled and deceived and screwed with. And
Right.
that's been going on for a long time. Yeah, it's huge. People need to research MK Ultra and what they did it to me.
Yeah.
And
It's a very real thing. And, again, like all these school shootings. Now, some of them I don't even think that have really happened. Some they just report this and they have crisis actors there. But there are real school shootings. There are real catastrophes. And they're caused by these people under MK Ultra. And I
yeah,
think, again, the average person is programmed by TV. They're programmed through various social media, articles, TV, influenced by their neighbors and their community to believe certain things. So that's like the first
yeah.
step of
Well, it's all for
it.
control.
Yeah,
They have a plan to control us, to keep us in chains, to keep us as slaves, to take our weapons. If
yeah,
we don't have weapons, we can't fight back. So a lot of that is done to take our Second Amendment away from us.
right.
But I was thinking the other day, and this is just my thoughts for now. But the Kennedys were at war. With the CIA and our government. The Kennedys went to war. It was a mafia war, a mafia takeover. And what they did to me, they taught me. They wanted me to be the president of the United States. So I was being taught. They wanted me to run the military. They wanted me to run all this. They were teaching me black ops. They were teaching me, Army, Marines. Like when I was in Vietnam at a very young age, it was all a learning experience. And I think they knew they were losing. I think they knew they were losing the war. My father was murdered for the whole world to see. And with that, folks, my father's dead. Don't believe their spin. He's not coming back. He's not 104 years old. He's not best friends with fucking Trump. He'd probably punch Trump right in the face. He probably would. But it was a war. It was a takeover. So once you're made out in public, you're a target. So, like my father and my uncle. But then it's a secret war too, where my sister and my mother and my aunts and my cousins were also murdered. They don't advertise, they're sneaky. But I'm thinking it was all a plan because they knew they were losing. So they're like, let's train John, let's keep him safe. And then someday, maybe if he lives long enough, he can come out and make a better world. And I'm going with that. That's what I'm thinking at the moment right now. It could change, but I know I was taught, I was trained um, to be a warrior, to be a soldier. And I love this country. And too many people have died for this country to let it go to organized crime and the mafia and the syndicate within our government of corruption. And, you know, we the people, I've lived a life of poverty. I've lived a life of hiding. I know what we the people are all about. I haven't lived a life like John, my brother, lived a life of luxury and Rolex watches and limousines. More like walking to the store or riding a bicycle or fixing up an old car that you bought for $500 to get you somewhere. I didn't have the luxury to just go buy a new car. I've never bought a new car. So I'm right there with we the people, but I've learned on how the government works and how they operate, and we could make like the Hell's Angels protected me. Some lost their lives protecting me. They are huge. My mother Jackie was giving them all kinds of money so they would go world. They went world. The Hell's Angels are worldwide, and a lot of that is because of my mom Jackie, for paying them to keep me alive. But you got backstabbers and all the other things that go along with it. You got infiltration by our government, um, so many things. But just the Hell's Angel alone backing me, we could get this world. And if there's any brothers of the HA, think about what good we could do. It's all about freeing all these people that have been falsely accused that are in prison just because our government declared them a criminal organization. Our government is the criminal organization. They really are. Um, Over and over again, I could use examples, but yeah, there's a lot of great things we could do to take our country back and get justice for we the people.
Right. A lot of people don't realize that there's certain things that are privatized, meaning that they're a for-profit agency or company. The prison system is one of them. All right. So a bunch of rich guys own the prisons, and some of their names, out there in the public. And of course, then they have to fill the prisons, and then they are subsidized by the government, right? And that keeps them all in business. Just like some of these highways that we drive on, toll roads, we think they're like roads that the state has created for us, and that they've got to use that money towards maintenance of the roads. Untrue. A lot of
Yeah.
those roads are privately owned,
Well,
and
like
we're
San Francisco, you got to pay to get the hell out of San Francisco. You got to pay to get the hell out of New York City.
yeah,
It costs you if you're in New York City and you want to leave, it's going to cost you. If you're in San Francisco and you want to leave, it's going to cost you. That's bullshit.
crazy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, America's supposed to be free. We ain't free. We got to pay for every single thing that we
sure,
do, everything.
right,
And we need a free country. We need to
yeah.
take our country back from all this. You know, I smoke $10 for a pack of fucking smokes when it's a weed. It grows like crazy. You could roll these up for a penny all day long. Our government was giving them to soldiers, giving them away to get them hooked on the shit.
Hmm.
I'm hooked on the shit, but why should I have to pay? Because it's all going somewhere else.
Well, probably the product value is like $1, and the rest goes in various taxes to various agencies
Oh
to
yeah, so they can
manipulate
put
it.
commercials on TV about
Yeah,
how smoking will kill you.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to pay for my cigarettes to go on a commercial where somebody, I just had heart surgery and it's because I smoke. You don't smoke, Or they got a guy with a hole in their throat that, oh yeah, don't smoke. Look at me. They put these things on TV
yeah,
to it's all programming,
right.
you know, and wounded warriors. I love our veterans, but why isn't our government taking care of this shit? But why do they put these wounded warriors that are all fucked up saying, please donate your dollar? Or the SPCA. They get these dogs, you know, that have been chained. It's like, go and chain the dog. Don't make a video of it. It's not a
Yeah,
photo op so you can get money, get donations.
yeah,
And then you see these other places, send money to Africa, and they got these black people sitting in the dirt with flies all over them. It's like they're all photo ops, just
yeah.
like send money to the Russian Jews, and you got some old lady sitting there that's 103 years old. I didn't eat for 4 weeks. I'm hungry. Please send me your $20. It's photo ops. The whole thing is freaking all photo ops. It's a syndicate to make you grab your heart and pull it out so you'll send them $1.
Yeah.
That is it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
I'm
Our
agreed
government
with
should
you.
be taking care of this shit. The
Yeah.
United States government should take after the people that fought for it, and there shouldn't be homeless on the streets. There shouldn't be all this bullshit in you know the hospitals and the care and every other thing.
Right.
Why should there be wounded warriors? Why should there be all these little societies to help because our government ain't doing a goddamn thing about it?
Right. Right. Think about the quality of the food the kids receive in school, the quality of food in hospitals and nursing homes. It's like the lowest possible quality. It's not healthy whatsoever. And everything is so overinflated price wise. You can just see the greed everywhere you go. And it just has really been overamped the past, say, 5 or 6 years, like even a little bit before the pandemic. But you can see how they've cranked the dial. Like, let's really screw the people. It's
I tell
really,
you what, though, when
yeah,
you live in poverty like I was, when I had heart failure,
yeah.
I went to the hospital, and the food was excellent. It was, from eating top ramen and shit like that. But I was in the hospital. I was like, nurse, bring me a coffee. Nurse, bring me one of those ham and cheese plates. And then it's like for lunch, it's like, can you order me a Caesar salad? But
Wow.
yeah, I was eating good. I was eating really good.
Yeah. Well, most of us would probably not prefer that kind of food, but like when you don't have food, you'll eat anything, right? So you'll be happy with it. But yeah, I've seen like there's this program called Meals on Wheels. You have
Right?
to pay for it, number one. It's not free, but they bring the older people, food to their door and they drop it. Now, there's no real interaction other than bing bong, here's your plate. They but I was trying to figure out exactly what was on the plate a couple times. Like it was some very weird stuff. And then one day there was like white bread and a white dinner roll, and then something horrible. I mean, like that is not nutritious whatsoever. So people are paying an inflated price for all the goods and services here. And until we start standing up, it's not going to change. Like we've got to make change, right?
Yeah, we got that Meals on Wheels here in Bullhead too.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know much about it, but I got screwed. They screwed me by giving me that birth certificate with a 6 year difference.
yeah,
My driver's license says David Quigley on it. I really would like to have my legal real name, but organized crime is, they stole that from me.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but there's a 6 year difference. So, I'm 64 years old here. I'm going to be qualifying for retirement or whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
Social Security. I'm not going to be able to get it for 6 more years after I qualify for it, unless I get this shit out and say, hey, I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. My birth certificate was a fake. It was a fraud. My name, David Quigley, was made up, and I want my name back. It
yeah.
really sucks. It, it
Well,
it does for what all the shit they've done to me.
I think your story is gaining traction though. Like on social media, the people that are helping you are pretty much on fire. Like
Oh, they are.
they're
I mean,
doing
you got
amazing
all
job.
these wonderful lions,
Yeah,
and there's so many sharing the story
yeah,
on Facebook. Like 100 and I mean 1 million and point five video views, and then you got all these. Henry sent me a message last night, said TikTok's blowing up with my story and people sharing it. And it's like,
Awesome.
yeah, I gotta get my work done so I can
Yeah.
open up a new TikTok
Yeah.
account, check it out. I can't even get on TikTok. It's sad what they do to suppress this story. It should be on all the local, I mean, mainstream media, but it
Yep.
ain't.
Yep. Well, hey, everybody that's doing what they're doing and they're doing a great job and they're being persistent, right? We're not giving up. That's only going to help. It's going to bring the story out there. Fabulous.
Yeah,
And
I'm in no position to pay any of these people. I really want to. Um, you know, they deserve, they're the Paul Revere's of 25
mhm,
here sharing my story for me. And it's like, I wish I had $1 million. I would bless them with $1 million, but I don't.
yeah, you don't.
Um, I just hope that they make history, that their name goes in the history book and says, hey, we helped John Kennedy Jr. fight against the evil cabal. I wish I could do more for these people. I just don't know with the position. I get people saying, hey, I'm a victim of MK Ultra. I'm a victim of child trafficking. Can you help me? And it's like, I'm lucky to have this beautiful studio because some people showed up a few weeks ago and gifted it to me. This microphone and my wonderful new camera, this computer that I'm talking about, it was all gifted to me. Robin got me the computer and these wonderful people that set this studio up with their blessings and blessed me.
Yeah.
Um, I was blessed. So I went and me and Robin spent $1,300 on fence to put up for Bubba. And it's like, I still need another, I don't know, probably 1,000 to do the whole yard. And I want to do the whole yard. So people buy a pendant.
Love it, love it. Well, first, what I was going to say is the people that are helping you are doing it because they want to. First of all, they see injustice, they believe your story, they want to help you get the story out there. And they're good people, right? They know it's not right and they're doing what they can do. So that's like we're no one's expecting anything, any compensation, you know. And just being thanked is amazing. And many of us hope that we can meet you in person someday and that you regain wherever you're going, that you're
Well,
out.
like you, Sue, you're a wonderful lion. And it's like, in my mind, it's like, okay, I want to write Lanny $1 million check. I want to write Sue $1 million check and Mojo. I want to bless these people, but hopefully in the future, maybe I can get some of these billions of dollars back that, along with Donald Trump and all these other presidents have
Yeah,
stolen and laundered with all these other people in Hollywood.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
huge cult. It is.
yeah,
It is a huge cult. Hollywood, the government, and the music industry. It goes big time. My father was a billionaire. He was assassinated. My stepfather was a billionaire. He was assassinated. I'm the heir to all those billions, but you get people like the man that stole my identity, the John the whole world knew, placed by the mafia with all this money laundering it all. Who's going to stop the president of the United States? They can shut it down if anybody speaks up. They'll just unalive you. And, these lions are standing up saying, hey, justice. But I'm putting it right out there. Donald Trump at Trump Tower sold millions of dollars of my loved ones' things. They advertised it on TV. Hey, we're going to be selling all these Kennedy possessions. You know, let's do something about it. Let's follow the money trail. It will lead to the cabal. My father's billions that was spread out. My stepfather's billions that was spread out. It all leads to the cabal. There's money trails up the yin yang. And our FBI, our Secret Service, our CIA, they're right in there distributing it. They're not helping. It's like when I went to the FBI and said, hey, my son, there's a picture for extortion with a buck knife up to his throat. What can we do? Go away. Our FBI, go away. Your story's too fucking big. You expose too many criminals. So here we are. I called the FBI too. I think it's been 2 or 3 years. I called the FBI and said, "Hey, you want to talk to me? Because I'm going to share this and tell everybody how fucked up you motherfuckers are." They hung up the phone on me, but I told them, I said, "You don't want to talk to me and straighten this out? I'm going to go viral. I'm going to get my story out that I'm John Kennedy Jr. and you guys fucked me."
Yeah, and you notice they haven't disputed any of your stories.
Oh, there's been no lawsuits. There's been no black Lincolns pull up here or Suburbans or any other thing
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, let's talk," or trying to assassinate me or anything like that. Maybe they know better.
Well, I actually think you're being protected, as we talked maybe last week or whatever about. So that's one thing, but they should not even step a toe out of line at this moment. Let's just put it that way. No attempt. Like you've had a whole lifetime of that. That's over. That's over. So we're here to support you. We want to help. We want this story to get out. We want you to do your thing. And like my position is, look at they took away the potential of your life. Now you've had an interesting life, but a lot of horrible, abusive, like non-normal things that they
Oh
perpetrate.
yeah. Well, for years I lived a life of McDonald's would be a
Yeah,
treat. Just
yeah,
having the money, extra money to go buy a Big Mac, that would be freaking like heaven, you know, just the hardships of,
yeah,
I mean, how many people struggle? I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't have to struggle
yeah.
to say, "Hey, are we going to spend this $20 to go to McDonald's?" Probably 40 now, but
Well, you wouldn't even want to eat that anyways, but we're glad to help and we want to help. Your story has got to go out mainstream. It's going to get there with everyone's work and that they're doing a great job out there. So that's exciting.
yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook is blowing up, people. So please hit it hard. Share your videos, share my videos, make videos, and let's get that 1.5 million to 10.5 million next
Yeah,
month.
yeah. Okay, now we haven't done this in a while, so why don't I show the website real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So the website is called The Real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. Here's what it looks like. It is the only official website that John's got. Lots of content here, and it will only be growing as time goes on. So you can purchase John's books through this website. It'll save you some.
And with that said, the historian's tale. Mary told me yesterday we had not sold one copy all month.
Right.
And then I heard people cannot find it at lulu.com. So we're putting it on Amazon. So here in the next couple of days, I believe she lowered the price to $16 or 16.99 or something like
Yeah.
that. But it will be available on Amazon, so I can start pushing it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it needs to get out there.
We'll
And
change that link on the website once we get it. One thing I wanted to talk about, it was this movie. It's about three-quarters of the way down on the homepage called The Quiet Journey. Now you can watch this movie. It's a documentary about John's life. 1 hour, extremely well done. You can watch it at thequietjourney.tv. Or if you forget that for some reason, you go to the website about three-quarters of the way down, here's the movie. Okay. So it really gives you a beautiful overview of John's story. Right. So this whole website is amazing. Like it's got so much good content in it, and that's only going to grow and grow as time goes on. I want to show you the shop page, okay? Now there is also a donate page, but let's go to the shop page because when we first started talking a little over a year ago, you were looking not as robust as you do now. All right, so King Smarty has sent you some of his products. He sent you some pendants and some stickers and a dog tag, a PTSD dog tag, which you have been wearing or you were wearing every day. And as we did our videos every week, we noticed how you started looking better, 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 better.
I'm feeling better. And
You
my
look,
post traumatic stress disorder went away.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
it really did. I mean, I'm still concerned. people will say, well, aren't you afraid I'm not afraid to die. Me and Daddy got a plan, but I'm not afraid to die. But I don't want to die, so I'm concerned. Somebody gifted me some money in the mail last week to buy some bulletproof vests. How kind is that? I was like, I saw this one seat cover that was actually bulletproof, and you could grab it off your seat and protect yourself with it. And it was like, I want one of those, but I couldn't afford it. And somebody said, well, I'm going to buy you a couple, John.
Wow.
So, yeah, thank you. That was such a blessing
Awesome.
for that person to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, every little bit stuff like that helps.
Every
When
little bit.
when Robin got here, um, we literally got an arsenal. Um, she had some money in the bank at that time, and she's like, for your birthday, I'm buying you an AR. I'm buying you a bunch of ammo, and then I got gifted some money, and I got me a couple firearms myself. But just to protect myself, um, the way I should be able to protect myself, it's wonderful, and that's because of people that have blessed me. And protection is one great thing
Right.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
King Smarty, while we're on the healing pendants,
yep.
um, he has a heart of gold. He really does. He donated. He spent thousands of dollars on these pendants and said, sell them, make a few bucks, make your life better. Um, I tried to pay the man back. I had sold $1,000 worth of pendants, and I said, hey, let me start paying you back. He's like, no, you make your life better. Um, and with the healing frequencies, I feel better. Um, I broke my silver one yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, I was out in the yard digging holes with the shovel. I got it on the fence and it broke. And I was like, oh shit, I need to get another one. And luckily I got them so I could I got a rose gold one to
yeah.
put on. So I'm sporting a rose gold one now. And it was just a chain that broke. So it's an easy fix on my silver one. But um, yeah, the minute I put it back on after working all day, I was like, man, I love these things.
Yeah, I love them too. And the chains are super sturdy too. So you
And
really,
you got some too with
yeah.
fairies on them, I
I
believe.
have the fairy and mermaid version of what you've got that I wear since they're mine, but mermaid on
Robin
one
wears
side.
hers all the time. I don't even think Robin wears mine anymore. She's going with the fairies.
Well, they're beautifully done, but both are beautiful. And for those that don't know, these pendants have healing frequencies embedded in them. So they have they're collector's items. They have John's picture and the name of his book on each side. They've come in two small sizes, small and large, 5 colors: rainbow, black, gold, rose gold, and silver. And they're $110 US plus $10 shipping. And the website does not have every frequency on there that would healing frequency that the pendants contain, because there are billions of them, billions of frequencies. So you'll notice a very subtle difference wearing them. Sometimes if you're in poor health, you'll notice a more rapid change in your physical and even mental, emotional uh, bodies, but they're well worth having.
Yeah,
So,
and they go to such a great cause. Me,
yeah.
um,
That is correct.
they're a collector's item. There was only
Yep.
1,000 of them,
Yep.
so a thousand of them. When my story gets out, plus you can say, hey, I got this pendant. I supported John's cause.
Yeah.
And we got shipping, and I've been giving away books when people buy a pendant and that kind of thing. But when somebody buys a pendant, hey, I'm able to go to the grocery store. I'm able to pay because I get
Yeah.
more bills. But
Yeah.
sharing my story all the time, and
Yeah.
then thinking, hey, I could really use a secretary just to send thank you notes to people.
Well,
I got a stack of letters in my little mailbox over there that I want to send thank you notes to, but I just got so much going on. But
yeah.
it helps immensely You know, with the book sales and the pendant sales, I'm making a few bucks. I'm not starving no more. I'm not having to eat top ramen. Um, so yeah, it's a blessing all the way around.
Yeah,
You get a you're making history when you buy one of these.
right, right.
And I don't mean to sound like a salesman. I really don't, but it helps. It really, really helps. And then
Yeah,
the healing frequencies too.
yeah. Well, not only does the money help you, so it's a win-win-win situation. It lifts the vibration of you and your home. Okay, so the pendants have 1,000-foot radius. All right, so that means if you walk around the grocery store with your pendant on, all the fruits and vegetables, the products, the people, the whatever you walk by is going to get a little blast of those frequencies. It lifts the vibration of everything around you. Okay. So that's why even if you break your pendant, keep it in your jewelry box or wherever, it's still going to uplift the vibration in the area. Right.
Yeah. And on the pendant is this picture of me on the
Yep.
Stolen Identity book.
Yep.
And I hope everybody leaves a review on Amazon after they purchase this book,
Yeah. Yeah.
to get the truth out. It's it's huge. I mean, we should be doing a lot better in sales on both books. Like Mary Maxwell this morning said, "Hey, we haven't sold a copy
Yeah.
all month long." Well, people, it's going to be on Amazon, and it's one awesome book, and I'm on the freaking cover.
Right.
And if you want it autographed, I've been autographing them when people buy a pendant. I don't know. I think I got a couple left. Um, but yeah, if you want your book signed
Yep.
and show your support
Yep.
for the cause of the truth and justice, I'll be happy to sign it for you, no problem whatsoever.
Excellent. Well, yeah. So, your purchase is always helpful. The review helps. Spreading the word about the book helps. Everything we've done, and I know that people watching now have already heard this. The new people probably haven't, but anything you can do to share the story, the book, anything about this is helpful in any way. And the more that we do that, the faster it's going to get out into mainstream. And like my opinion is, John, is once your story gets out there, boom, so many
Yeah,
other people will step
we're
forward.
we're manifesting for a healing center. Call
Yeah,
it a church, call it an office, call it a place to come get a coffee and a donut, whatever you want
yeah,
to call it. That's what we're manifesting for, because there's so many victims out there. There's so many people that just want to tell their story.
yeah,
I want to get a place. I want to put a webcam in there. I want to let people show up and speak to the world. I want it to go viral. I want a museum. People send me little gifts all the time, and I want to share them in this
right,
place. We'll cover the walls with love cards.
right.
I gotta get some.
It's gonna be fabulous. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be talking alone again. Well, let's share the website again. Okay. So I really would encourage anyone that doesn't have a pendant. I know we're all in that financial situation, but if you can find a way to get the pendant, it greatly helps John. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I had to grab a
Okay,
letter.
good. All right.
Me and Robin last night went to the post office box, and we got a couple letters. I want more letters, people. I love letters. We got two letters of people asking for bumper stickers. I'm giving these away. If you write me a letter and say you want bumper stickers, or send me if you got a couple
Good.
stamps to put with it, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, but we're giving these away, and I usually put quite a few in an envelope and send it. Um, but we got two letters asking for bumper stickers, but this put tears in my eyes. Life is beautiful.
It
Somebody
is.
took their time to do this. They wrote a nice little letter on the back.
Yeah.
But I saw this and it's like, Robin, we're loved. There's so much hate that we get all the time for trying to share the truth. And then somebody sends something like this, and it's like, we're getting it. We're doing it. We're kicking some
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. Well, it is something you have to work at. I mean, like we've seen you on TikTok Facebook, whatever, every single day, doing lives and all that. Even when there's like one person on there, you're still there. So you're committed to the cause, right? You're committed to get this story out. So are we to help you.
Yeah. Amy and her husband came to they were in Vegas, but they came all the way here to Bullhead City to give me a doll and meet me. And we were having lunch. They bought me and Robin lunch, and we're sitting there, and we did a live sitting at the lunch table. There was 6 or 7 people, 8 maybe. Wonderful lions. They all had their necklaces on, and we were chatting, and I felt a little bit uncomfortable because there's people all around, and I'm doing a live right there at the table. But
Yeah.
the support and the love is growing. It's huge. It's awesome.
Awesome.
And I'm meeting wonderful people like Amy and her husband, and it's great. It's a great
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. I think when you have your healing center, you're going to have, again, we'll call them famous people, but good people come forward with their stories, with their support, with whatever. It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
People,
it'll go viral. I'm in
yeah,
Bullhead City here, and there's churches on every corner. But there was like a place you could send faxes to right around the corner here. Um, it was just like a little place to get notary or
yeah,
send a fax or whatever. It turned into a church a few months ago, and I'm like, if they could do that, John Kennedy Jr. can do that. And
yeah,
then right up the road, you pass 3 or 4 churches, but there was a liquor store on the left, and now it's got a big sign, Assembly of God. And it's like, if a liquor store could turn into a church, we can get enough support where John Kennedy Jr. can have an office, a home base, a worship, a healing center, all the good things put into one. And I'm looking forward to just having a counter where people can come get a coffee and a Danish and sit around and bullshit with each other.
yeah.
That would be freaking awesome to
All right.
me.
All right. Well, we're hearing what you're asking. That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be really fun. It would
Yeah.
be uplifting, a lot of love. We wouldn't, we wouldn't get the haters unless somebody drove by and threw eggs at us or whatever they're going to do. But
Well, they'd have to be very committed to hate if they decided to drive over and do that. But, you know,
yeah, there's a lot more pictures coming out of me and George and my cousins and things like that now, which is cool. A lot of things are surfacing. The picture of me was, I've been sharing stories
yeah,
that hey, I was raised by the Hell's Angels, and there's a lot of pictures coming out now of me with Sonny, holding an M16 and shit like that. And it's like, see, I told you so.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's all coming out, and that's the good news. So, for those that are watching or will watch, we thank you for all your help and support, and ask that you continue to share the story, share the books, share the Quiet Journey TV. If you have bumper stickers, hand them around. Buy a pendant if you can, or if you have extra money, buy one and gift it to someone,
That's
right?
awesome. And books. People have been purchasing books and donating it to the library. I would
Yeah.
love to see my book in all the libraries around this country.
Yep.
And you're what is it, $20 and then shipping. So you're $30 from a donation to your library. I wish I could put one in the library as I can't. I
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe someday I'll have $1 million and be able to buy $1 million worth of books and distribute them out to the libraries. I
Yeah.
mean, that's one thing I would probably do to get the truth out to the world. But
Yeah. And there's libraries, and of course, the books are also at Barnes and Noble, at least online. So if you have a local Barnes and Noble or whatever, go ask them if they carry the book and have them put a display up. It doesn't hurt to ask. And sometimes people will look at you like, "What? I didn't know he was still alive. Oh, there's a book out? Okay." And they might do it. You never
and,
know till you ask.
and with this one, Mary Maxwell is a wonderful honorary lady. I love her, but that's her on the back. she came here and interviewed me, and I said, Mary, would you like to write a book and help me write a book? And she's like, yeah, let's do this. So this is going to be on Amazon, and
Yeah,
it's worth having. It's worth,
yeah.
and it helps. It all helps.
It helps everybody get the word out, and that's what we're after, right? And unfortunately, you got to think of it this way too. Those that are kept in poverty, which, you've gone through that, but look at out in society how many people have like nothing, right? Shocking for the greatest country in the world, right? People are living so poorly, they have no
Yeah,
power, all right?
we can fix it. We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
fix it.
yeah. We have to
Um,
bring this
I
out.
was at I was at Walmart the other day, and I heard this voice behind me say, "John." And I turned around, and this woman was holding a hardcover copy of my stolen identity. She said, can I get you to sign it?" And I was like, I gave her a hug. It's like, sure, this is awesome. Um, I would have liked to change more information with her so we can stay in
Yeah.
contact and all that. But that made my whole day. Somebody coming up wanting my autograph to sign my book at Walmart.
How did she happen to have the book with her at Walmart? That's a
She
little
had it in her car.
Oh,
She actually said, I knew you were in Bullhead City, so I just kept it in my car. So if I ever saw you, I would stop and talk to you.
how
And
awesome is
my
that?
truck on the tailgate's got a big JFK Jr.
Ah,
And then I got
okay.
the stickers of my book all over the windows.
Yeah.
So I'm advertising everywhere I go.
That's that's
That's
adorable.
why I need those bulletproof seat covers.
Yep, yep, yep. Well, thank you for all you're doing to get the story out. So your story is, like I said, it's going to open the way for many others behind you. But we can't let our government or anyone, any company do this to anyone else. It has to stop. And how do we get it to stop? First of all, we have to build awareness of what's actually happened. So getting this out is super important. Yep.
And thank you, Sue, with all
Yep.
my heart. Thank all you lions
Yep.
that spend a minute of your time and hit the share button, that make a video, that send me a letter. We're getting there. And
Yeah.
like I say, you all are the Paul Revere's of this year.
Yep. Yep.
And I can't do it without you. I can't. I know I can't. There's no way in hell I can, but you guys are helping me. We're doing it. And maybe someday we will have justice and make this world a better place to live.
Right. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, John, for your time. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Sue.
All right. Bye-bye.